House Minority Whip Steve Scalise, the second most powerful member of the GOP in the House, is now also backing the ouster of Representative Liz Cheney due to her unwillingness to go along with a pro-Trump narrative. Now, this has been a developing story. It comes after Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, getting caught on a hot mic saying that he is frustrated with Liz Cheney and her unwillingness to, basically stop criticizing Donald Trump, stop telling Americans the truth about what actually happened in the election, which is the fact that Biden won it. But when you look at Scalise's statement and what he suggests, you can already read the tea leaves. You know what's gonna happen to Cheney. House Republicans need to be solely focused on taking back the House in 2020 and fighting against Speaker Pelosi and President Biden's radical socialist agenda. And Elise Stefanik is strongly committed to doing that, which is why Whip Scalise has pledged to support her for conference chair. So that was a statement from a spokesperson for Steve Scalise, essentially saying that he absolutely does back Liz Cheney losing that leadership position, and the name Stefanik is now in the Republicans' consciousness. This is what they want. They want to replace her with Stefanik, who actually is a little more moderate when you look at her voting record compared to Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney has voted with Trump more often than Stefanik has. However, there's a big difference. Stefanik knows that she needs to present herself as a Trump loyalist in her words, in her actions, maybe some of her votes not so much, but it doesn't matter. She knows where the Republican voters are, and the vast majority of them still approve of Donald Trump. And if you want to have a political career in the Republican Party, you just got to go along with it. You can't tell voters the truth like Liz Cheney did. That's political suicide, and we're seeing that right now as we speak. Now, Donald Trump, of course, loves the idea of replacing Cheney in this leadership role with a loyalist like Stefanik, and so he's weighed in and he says that Elise Stefanik is a far superior choice, and she has my complete and total endorsement for GOP conference chair. Elise is a tough and smart communicator. And what does Stefanik have to say about this? She didn't even do the fake like, oh no, I'm not even thinking about this. No, I'm really focused on my No, she loves it. She loves it. She says this: thank you, President Trump, for your 100% support for House GOP conference chair. We are united and focused on firing Pelosi and winning in 2022. So it's worth discussing what this means for both the Republican Party and, honestly, the Democratic Party as well. Because while the Democratic Party was already a big tent with progressives and corporate Democrats all included in one, now we have this situation in which these Trump-era Republicans, people like Liz Cheney, are looking for a place to call home. And many of these never Trumpers, even before the 2020 election, decided to make their way to the Democratic Party. And what we should be concerned about is how these people, who tend to come along with moneyed interests, can push the Democratic Party further to the right, which is the exact opposite of what we want. So while there are some positive reactions, people are amused by what's going on, they think it's funny, I get it, and certainly I don't feel bad for Liz Cheney at all. But my point here is I don't want Liz Cheney's brand of republicanism to further infiltrate the Democratic Party, which has already become quite a bit of a problem in their lack of representation of working Americans and their willingness to take on a more favorable view toward corporate America. So that's already been a trend, and I'm worried that it's gonna continue to be exacerbated by what's happening in the GOP. And clearly what's happening in the GOP is this pretty terrifying authoritarian culture where there's one true leader. You're not allowed to ever tell the truth or speak out against someone in this position of power, Donald Trump. If you do, there will be brutal retaliation. You'll lose your leadership position. I mean, for a party that consists of countless people who claim that they're disgusted by cancel culture, get a load of them. If you tell your constituents the truth about what happened in the 2020 election and you go against our dear leader, Donald Trump, well, there'll be a price to pay.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.